Hello everyone and welcome to this webinar, Future Forward Infrastructure Designed for AI and Cognitive Workloads. My name is Chetan Parekh and I'll be your host today. I'm the Sales Director at GBM and responsible for the infrastructure solutions. GBM is one of the largest system integrator in the region with 7 offices and over 1,400 employees across the GCC countries. I'm proud to say that we have a very strong record of over 25 years and have been a successfully technology partner to majority of enterprises across all industries, offering them the broadest portfolio including industry-leading infrastructure, digital business solutions, security solutions, and services. The hot IT-related subject right now is how companies can leverage digital transformation and smarter computing, which includes a broad range of technologies like cloud, AI, and cognitive. These technologies offer huge benefit for our customers, but to gain advantage and tackle the most complex computing challenges, one needs to have the right infrastructure foundation. And Power9 is a system that is engineered to crunch the most intensive data workloads this digital era offers. Today, we have our IBM Power9 launch customer, Mr. Arab, the general manager and one of the co-founders of Global Payment Services. Welcome, Mr. Arab.
Thank you so much, Chetan.
He is here with us today to share his experience with Power9 and also his thoughts around the technologies impacting the financial services and electronic payment industry. We will discuss with Mr. Fredrik Lundholm from IBM. Welcome, Fredrik.
Thank you, Chetan.
And we will be talking with him about the exciting new technologies, especially around IBM Power9. Fred is with IBM since 2006 and he supports the IBM Power business in the Middle East. He's a senior infrastructure architect and power systems technical leader for MIA. He has a track record of helping customers achieve its business priorities cost effectively and securely using IBM infrastructure components. So, Fred, how do you see the current trends and challenges facing the IT industry and how do you see IBM geared up to meet these challenges?
Thank you, Chetan. Yes, that is a very good question. When we meet customers right now, we see that the infrastructure in the customer place is often the roadblock to adopt new technologies. We see that customers are not equipped to handle the cognitive data volumes, that is, the unstructured data, social media data. We see that customers are unable to harness acceleration, which is the next generation technology, to improve efficiency. We also see that usually there is a problem to scale to the right level. And then we have specific servers in place at most customers which are not designed to handle parallel workloads and data intensive workloads as well. So these are the roadblocks that we see today that we are trying to address. With Power9, we address that using a new technology which has almost 10 times higher I/O bandwidth than commodity x86 machines. We have twice the core performance. We have embedded virtualization in the firmware. We support large memory configurations to enable us to consolidate a lot of workloads in a single machine. And around that, we have designed systems to meet specific customer problems. So we have the mission critical workloads and our enterprise systems that harness these very, very intensive and transactional workloads. And we have a specific series of machines ranging from scale out, mid-range, and high-end machines to cater for that. We also have specific machines, servers, the LC922, specified for big data workloads. And with the latest trend, artificial intelligence, we have a complete range called AC922 that cater for those artificial intelligence workload in an accelerated fashion. And to give you an example, what that means for the customer, we have run a large Terasort Terascale benchmark using 4 Power9 machines, and we have compared the results against a cloud-based Google setup with 70 machines. And what we are able to do with an end-to-end IBM solution is using 4 machines to train an artificial intelligence model in 1.5 minutes compared to 70 minutes that is required with 60 machines on the Google Cloud. So what that means for you as a business is when you harness the Power9 technology, you will be able to have a much faster time to market, as well as develop more accurate artificial intelligence models to support you in that.
Fred, that sounds pretty impressive. 1.5 minutes with 4 IBM Power9 machines versus 70 minutes to run the same benchmark using 70 machines on Google Cloud. So now, since you touched on the subject of AI, which is the trigger of interest in everyone right now, I have to ask you this. We all know that governments in the region are looking to AI strategy to prepare for future. Can you tell us how is AI shaping in smart government initiatives and also how Power9 can form a foundation in the smarter infrastructure?
Thank you, Chetan. So, as demonstrated in the previous picture, we have a system that can really accelerate these workloads. And we are working with many governments in the region in all areas of governance. So, that could be in transportation, traffic management, to reduce congestions, to reduce accidents. It could be in renewable energy. How can we predict supply and demand and create better models to predict supply and demand? It could be in health, how to minimize chronic diseases and contain dangerous diseases. It could be in education, to reduce the cost and enhance the capability of the population. So in all areas, including public security, video surveillance, etc., we are able to leverage the Power9 technology to accelerate this, to really deliver an end-to-end solution with GBM and IBM to help all our customers in this field.
Indeed, Fred, IBM and GBM is uniquely positioned to manage these projects and provide our customer an end-to-end solution in a very cost-effective environment. Can you spend a little bit more in terms of Power9 technologies that bring on the table?
Let me take you through a journey, what went into the Power9 design and the thinking around it. So if I start with the strategy, why place a bet? All customers, all industries are facing competition from new business models. They have systems that don't keep up. They are too costly to be competitive, and we are drowning in data. They might not even know who my customer is, who your customer are. These are bets that industries and customers and governments need to make for the future, that we will help them along. Okay? If we look at the processor trends and direction, for the past 20 years, we have had an amazing scalable design that grow every year, became twice as fast. At the current rate of projection, this has now been rolled back. We will no longer see, after 1 year, a twice as capable machine rolled out. We have come to an end of Moore's law, which dictates how fast things change and get more performant. So businesses take bets for the future. And as IBM, we need to look at what our capability is. When we check the processor trends and directions, we see that going forward, it will take 20 years to make something that is twice as fast as what we have today. Previously, we could wait 18 months, 1 year, and have a twice as highly performant system available. But right now, according to the industry, according to the science, we will have to wait another 20 years. On top of that, we have the new security exposures just announced from Google and other vendors, which I will touch on later, which may even roll back the performance enhancements that we've seen the past couple of years. So that influences IBM to make bets. Just as an industry makes bets, IBM have to make bets on how to circumvent the limitations of physics. So we have 3 bets in IBM Power Systems. We are betting on hardware-based virtualization, Power VM. This will help to increase utilization of our machines. It will help segregating security layers between our virtual machines. So one very big bet is virtualization. And our virtualization is embedded in the hardware. Then another bet we're making is on domain-specific architectures, commonly known as accelerators. With accelerators, again, we are able to tune our system to run specific applications much faster. This was also demonstrated with the artificial intelligence benchmark that I shared in my earlier slide here. So by using accelerators, we are able to harness innovation beyond the traditional rate of improvement. The third and last bet IBM is making on its computers and IBM Power System is cloud. And we have all the clouds. We have private clouds, public clouds, hybrid clouds, and multi-clouds. All those bets are our bets to help you and the industry going forward with IBM Power Systems. I'm very happy to see and announce that IBM Power9 today is number 1 and number 2 on the top 500 supercomputing list. IBM is making the supercomputers, the fastest 2 supercomputers in the world with Power9 technology. If we look at the entrance here, we see place number 1, Power9, place number 2, Power9, place number 3, a Chinese RISC processor, a 260 core specific processor for high performance computing. And on number 4, we see Intel with its x86 architecture. So we have a really potent story, and the industry is adopting and loving our technology. If we compare our top result, Power9, with the number 4, Intel, we provide twice the performance and using less than half the energy consumption. So this is something really potent and powerful that shows the value of our technology and our bets on acceleration. For commercial workloads, we are also recognized by vendors like SAP. They awarded IBM this year Global Partner of the Year for Infrastructure Pinnacle Award. They did that because we allow the SAP applications, the HANA database, to harness the firmware-based virtualization, Power VM, to increase utilization and reduce cost for the customer. So we are recognized not only in supercomputers, but we also by the commercial traditional workload vendors. That is all great and good, but unless we can show value for money, that is not good enough. That's why, again, for database workloads, we have benchmarks, we have the proof points to share with you that we are giving 2.5 times better price performance compared to a traditional x86 machine for database workloads. We can give you 2.4 times better price performance for Java workloads. So we have the SAP workloads, we have the database workloads, we have the Java workloads with a better price performance compared to commodity servers. The last point here, which is very critical for the financial markets and other markets, is the new security exposures. Since the 1970s, there has been security problems that are exploited in the operating system, in the applications. And traditional methods were, let's guess a password, let's change how the machine works to expose private data. This is a very, very old field, and it's something that we have mitigated all along. What is new? What is new this year is that now exposures are not only on the application, on the operating system. Now exposures are coming out that attack the hardware. So the hardware is attacked. So we have the meltdown problem. We have the Spectre problem. They attack the hardware to extract information that is private. And the latest exposure that was announced in August this year is called Foreshadow. With Foreshadow, you are running in a virtual machine and is able to extract information from another virtual machine. With x86 and commodity hardware, the only way to resolve this issue right now is to disable hyperthreading. That means it can lead up to a 31% performance impact. So all the performance benchmarks that we have seen going forward has to be redone. With Power9 and the hardware virtualization Power VM, we are not exposed of running 2 virtual machines on the same processor at the same time. So we have the fix in hardware. Whereas with other vendors, with commodity hardware, we will see a very large exposure to performance and security, because right now the industry is attacking the hardware, not only the operating system or the applications. So we are again very well positioned with our IBM Power9 technology. Lastly, for the cloud track, to align with the cloud offerings and to expand our reach in this area, IBM acquired Red Hat Linux operating system. Okay, so this helps us to deliver an end-to-end story going from the processor to the operating system to the application on the cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, and multi-cloud. So that really completes the end-to-end solution and end-to-end reach of the IBM portfolio.
I agree with you, Fred. IBM and GBM is uniquely positioned to manage these projects, right? And what I like about what you said is that deliver complete end-to-end solutions to our customer with a cost-effective implementation. So, Fred, time and again, IBM has proved that they always have a long-term roadmap that they are able to deliver on. It's pretty impressive to see IBM run at the speed of digital business today while keeping in mind what future has to offer. We are indeed excited with all the brilliance that Power9 is offering us, all perfectly set to put into action right away. Now, we have Mr. Arab here from the background of financial services and electronic payment industry. And he is also our very own first launch customer of Power9 in the region. So let's once again welcome Mr. Arab, who is the general manager and one of the co-founders of GPS, to share his experience and thoughts. Mr. Arab has been engaged in this industry for over 25 years now. Being from a technical background, Mr. Arab has demonstrated great passion and experience in electronic payment technologies and outsourcing operations during his tenure. Prior to joining GPS, he worked with a number of well-recognized local and multinational institutions such as Arab Financial Services, BBK, and Reuters Middle East. We are glad to have you, Mr. Arab. So, could you please tell us a bit more about GPS and your vision for the future?
Thank you, Chetan, for your warm welcome. It is my pleasure to share with you about the IBM platform and how does it help us. Obviously, GPS we have started in 2005 and we have grown locally and we have spread to regional. GPS being a third-party processor, processing for multi-institutions, being it in Bahrain and all that. We have a vision to expand even further beyond. Today we are in Bahrain market, we are in Iraq market, we are holding a very big share on those markets, and we are looking into different markets to expand more. Obviously, that is backed up by technology, and technology needs to be the backbone of our services to our customers. We provide as comprehensive services to banks and financial institutions within the GCC and beyond the GCC to provide debit and credit card services, ATM and point of sale services, mobile banking, and all complementary services like fraud management systems and all that.
So this sounds pretty amazing, Mr. Arab. And I also know that you have a strong customer base, which includes Credit Max, Itmar Bank, Bahrain Islamic Bank,
Yes.
Bahrain Credit Facility, and few other banks, which includes Trade Bank of Iraq and Kurdistan International Bank,
Yes.
and so on. Having been in the region for so many years and working with so many renowned customers, please can you tell us what are the typical challenges you face being in the industry?
From the technical perspective, efficiency, capacity of the system, the flexibility of the system, its resilience, and the security support of a platform, it is very much important into our industry. For example, from the security perspective, we need to segregate each and every institution. So IBM has really helped us in order to do that by doing have virtual servers for each individual customers. More of that, the capacity and the efficiency of the system, it has really helped us into doing the monthly maintenance. Earlier, we used to have a system going down for every 1 month, to have half an hour down, which is very costly for us and for our customers. Since migrating to Power 8 and hope now to the Power 9, this problem has disappeared. Now we have been over 1.5 years on the Power 8, now on the Power 9. We don't have an issue of monthly maintenance, which is excellent as an added on value from the IBM platform. The support of GBM also is it is a very important aspect for our business. Whenever a support is needed, GBM is always on our side, and we have built this trust for a long time ago. Since we have incepted this relationship with GBM, it has been an excellent relationship. If we talk about the financial domain, of course, our industry is facing lots of challenges, like everything going now into digitization, like trend into new payment methods from the fintech industry, like mobile banking and tokenization, cloud computing. We have also from cross-border payments coming of it. All these are challenges that we need to face up with. So that's why we need the technology to back up all of that in order to help us to be more competitive. We have another dimension, which is probably the regulation and the strict regulations that really are forced on us, compliances, requirements, which is versus all the security challenges that they are coming in. All of that compared to keeping our cost competitiveness in the market.
As you rightly said, Mr. Arab, and thanks for sharing your deep thoughts about the challenges that your industry face. Digital technology has and will continue to change the way we work, the way we live, and the way we communicate. Change in any business model and the technology which supports this change should definitely go hand in hand, while considering the key facts around important aspects like cost, security, and flexibility, which you said is important to you too. I know that GPS is committed to maintaining cutting-edge technology infrastructure and applications to deliver the best services to your customers. The latest story of Power9, which brings us all here today, is a clear example to it. Please, Mr. Arab, can you tell us what were the reasons behind your decision to go with IBM Power9? What different experience does Power9 give you the edge as compared to the older power systems? I know that you mentioned about the reliability that these new systems offer, but if there is anything else, then please, can you elaborate on that?
In 2006, we were transacting, we just executed around 40 million transactions a year. In 2017, we executed 80 million transactions a year. So 2018, I think is going to probably double, if not I'm exaggerating. So the need for more power to transact, it is very important to us, and we need the technology to support it. The thing is, we need a platform that when performance is needed, it is there to give it. I'll just tell you an example. Like there are lull situation, but sometimes you have a big weekend, you have holidays, and everyone was transacting. You need to entertain all these transactions at one shot. That's why we need the performance. Suddenly everyone asking for that performance, and you have to give it. So the Power8, Power9, I think this is the most important aspect of it, that we need a system that really give us the power when needed.
And thanks for sharing this with us. And this essentially, when Fred talked initially about the roadblocks in the technology industry in terms of how the platform doesn't scale enough when you suddenly have spikes in your system. And with the examples that you gave us, right, that the IBM Power system scales efficiently to handle the workload that comes over the weekend, it comes over, which essentially you cannot predict, but it comes in and the systems can handle that. Exactly. So I'm glad to hear that. As I said, there is nothing better than to hear the success from the customer himself. Thanks again, and it's our pleasure that we could be part of your success. Could you tell us a bit about the history of your partnership with GBM and your experience with GBM teams?
Our experience with GBM was a very, very long time ago. But as far as GPS, we started with GBM since 2005. And ever since, I think that marriage, I would say, is still there. We are very much happy with the support and all that. I mean, there are some glitches, but always the support is available. Even at very, I would say, critical situations, I call up the engineers myself. And they are present even in very critical situations that they came and reported, and they sourced hardware from everywhere and got us up and running. As I said, our business model, I mean, we cannot afford to go down for a single minute. That's why the support and the support of GBM is very important to us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arab, for spending this time again with us. And I'm glad that GBM again has been part of the success that success of yours and GPS together. We have come to the end of this webinar now, and I hope it was an opportunity for all of us to learn something. We will be happy to connect with you all. So if you have any questions, please send it to systems@gbmme.com. That's our email ID, and one of our experts will answer it as soon as possible.